So, before we get to this trim, all finished, all looking fairly smooth, all the trim around the windows, the doors, all that you see here. First, it starts off looking something like this. All rough. No trim around the doors, gaps. So let's get to it. We got to do first. Sorry about the echo in here. Not any, usually furniture and things help break up echoes, but obviously empty square rooms, the noise really bounces around. So you see how there's this foam that's been put around the windows. Now it's important to use foam that's specifically for windows and doors because as it expands, it doesn't push out the window or the door, thus warping it, thus making it hard to close or hard to open. That's really important. But anyway, so we have this extra foam and we're gonna cut it off to make it flush so we can put trim in here and box them out. That's what I'm gonna use this multi-tool, this oscillator for. It's got a blade on it and we're just gonna cut around it. So now you can see that we're all ready now to box around it. It's all been made smooth. We're going to first find our windowsill, which we're going to make out of one piece. And we have now this gap in the middle, which is 3 inches. 3 inches and some change. We'll make it a little bit larger. We're going to find the overall measurement. It's about 60 inches. We're gonna make it overhang a little bit because our window trim is gonna stick out beyond it. We're gonna go 64 on this one. 2 inches out either side, 3 inches in the middle. Now we find our depth, 1 3/8 depth. Now we can go cut it. Now this has a rough side, basically has oversplash on it. Trim side is nicely painted. Now we're gonna find the middle, which half of 64 is 32. And then it's gonna be 3 inches, so we're gonna measure 3 inches out. So this has been perfectly balanced. This side is starting to go down. We're gonna have to shim it up so we have the same level all the way across. Alright, now we're gonna put a box around it basically. So now to cover up this gap between the window and the drywall, we're gonna cut those now. We want to find out what height. We're going to give it a little bit. We're not going to be flush with the window sill. 34 to the top of this, but we're going to go an extra 1/4 inch. 34 1/4. It should be like that all the way around. 4 1/4. Should still be around 1 3/8. Will be 27 3/4 in this case. 34 1/4 on each side. 1 3/8. We're going to make 2 of those. So now we're going to rip this down to 1 3/8, which is our width that'll come out to be flush with the drywall. And there's a measure bar on this side in which we're going to do that with. What's great about these pieces that we don't have much else use for, we can use these as shims. So we don't have to buy more shims. These work just fine for holding it where we want to hold it. Just a way of reusing it and having less waste in that way. Obviously, again, you have a bad side and a good side. We want to make sure that when we build the box, all the nice smooth sides, unblemished as much as possible, are facing in. They're going to be the visible pieces. We want to have equal gaps all the way down as much as possible. We're gonna have to shim accordingly. Finish off this window for when everything's done. We're going to caulk all the holes, all the seams. It's going to look great when it's done. There it is. This is all going to get caulked. All these holes, it's all going to look real clean when it's all done. Yep.